Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I never thought uploading the video is as critical as it seems because पहले वाला जो था वो उसमें glitch आ गया तो अभी uploading lately because पहले वाला जो था वो glitch की वजह से उसका वो sound और वो सब खराब हो गया. So uploading again. Yeah, so the as we have discussed in brief on Gram, uh, do follow Gram channel also. It's SGUPSC. As we have discussed in brief, what to be read from today's newspaper. Let's have some detailed analysis of the news. So the first news is Supreme Court seeks government responses on PIL for chemical castration. What is chemical castration? Um, in simple words, chemical castration means the drugs or chemicals that are used to reduce the formation of sex hormones. So it is also called as hormone therapy or medical castration also. It is very radical thing. It has very violent impact on human being. So the PIL was about it on banning of this kind of castration, and Supreme Court has also stated that uh, no bail for the person who has committed heinous crime against women till the trial commences. So the article comes under GS2. It also comes under GS1 as society is also involved. So in both GS subjects you can inculcate this. Uh, yeah. So now the next article is green hydrogen. Hidden cost of greenwashing Indian Railways. It's on page number 8. So what is greenwash railways? So the story lies within a humongous saga of investing huge cost asset and at the same time having no cost benefit analysis. It means the writer has stated that even though it's a nice reform of having greenwash railways or something like that, government should invest these kind of reforms in heavy transportation. When it comes to road transport, when it comes to truck as a means of transport in daily to daily life, instead of railways it should be on the roadways. The investment should be on roadways, as we have already 750 locomotives that are diesel based. We have that installed with full capacity, with no use. They are crisp clear new, but still they are in the storehouses. Government is not using that even though they have huge lifespan of 20 years, and even they are new, they are just stored and they are on the way of scrapyard. So the article was about, instead of investing something on new, please use something you already have. So it applies to us also as parents. Instead of having lot of material and searching new material in the market, please revise what you have, even though it's handy notes or your handmade notes or basic books, ncrts. What we do as parent, as exam approaches, is what we do is every new material attracts us. No matter you are first attempter, second attempter or last attempter, it always attracts as parents what is new in the market, and we just run behind the things. We don't take into account what we already have, and we should revise that, and we should fully first use it, and then we should forward or move to new material. So the article replicates the same, that we already have 750 diesel based locomotives and we are not using it. They are just there. So it's about it. And mission 100% electrification project is about chasing a mirage. The writer has stated as it is like chasing mirage turning into a green railway. Large number of serviceable locomotives are on the way of being deducted. What is being deducted means having full capacity but still there is no use of that thing. So the article was about that. To make green railways fantasy from dream to reality, first of all we should come up with alternate source of coal. And as we all know, the coal is the single highest mineral which is used in the transportation or making any energy sources. So first of all we should come up with that alternate, that should, and at the same time it should be cheap than coal. Its production should be cheap than coal. Otherwise it will be both wasting of money. We are wasting on renewable energy also, and we are wasting the locomotives which we already have. So article was about to balancing old things as well as, first of all it is insisting please old please utilize old things first and then have reforms about new things. The next news is uh, it is about green hydrogen and financial challenge. So, as we know, we have stated that we will have net zero carbon emission till up to 2070. But as we know, we have not only we have only completed 10% of the targeted, which we have stated about carbon emission. The reason behind the sluggish growth is lack of distance between researchers, government policies. It's not lack of rule or lack of laws, it's between implication of those rules and laws. At the same time, it is between being adaptable to local people also. So the article stated that the article is opinion based, so there is nothing much about explaining the article. Then next and utmost important, how does La Nina affect India's climate? See, there is not a single prelim and not a single mains in which they have not asked El Nina and La Nina. Many aspirants confuse between two phenomena, but it is the utmost important phenomenon without which UPSC exam is incomplete. So it's quite confusing, but they are easy. Like whole geography on one side and La Nina and El Nina is on one side. So cost benefit analysis of studying this phenomena is huge. So don't ignore La Nina or El Nina. So what is La Nina? It's a phase of El Nino. It becomes southern oscillation. It occurs in when region of Pacific Ocean between Indonesia and South America becomes cooler than usual. So what are the effects of La Nina on India? So India receives normal or above normal rainfall. At the same time, it affects in Africa as a form of drought. So this is the difference where we tend to confuse more. El Nino, La Nina, India receives rainfall or above rainfall. At the same time, Africa receives drought. This is the same opposite condition in case of El Nina. In El Nino, what happens? India experiences extreme level of summer as we have experienced in April. That heat waves become uh, the word and the phrase which is in news and discussions everywhere. So what happens in El Nino? It brought extreme summer to the India. At the same time, it gives normal or above normal rainfall in southern US. So these phenomenons are there in the news. So why this is in news? Because this time La Nina has delayed. It should occur in July, early July, but even though it's late December, it has not occurred, and that's why we are facing winter waves and things like that. So that's why the article was in news. Then, most sensitive and most important article from whole today's newspaper, which one should not ignore, is what is procedure for removing judges. They have stated removing judges, but as a UPSC aspirant, you should call it as impeachment process. See, use proper words whenever you are writing the answers in exam, so that it will create impression and it will give crisp idea to examiner also. So what is the impeachment process for removing the judges of Supreme Court or High Court? Under which article it has mentioned? The impeachment of Supreme Court judges is mentioned under Article 124, and impeachment of High Court judges procedure has mentioned in Article 217. So don't confuse in between two articles. One is of Supreme Court. See, Supreme Court is earlier, so 124 is for Supreme Court and 217 for High Court. So these are the kind of tricks you should do on yourself, whatever you are comfortable in. To see, the purpose is not to have ratta about the articles. It's all about memorizing it by some tricks. It's not easy to have all articles handy, but by using these kind of tricks, you can commemorate and have fair answer and idea about under which article the issue comes. So what is impeachment and why? On which ground? First of all, on which grounds any judge should impeach or remove? That is misbehavior and incapacity to conduct the business of the house. So the article was about it. So why article is in the news? The main reason is, as we all know, the recent Allahabad High Court case, wherein Hindu Parishad, the Mr. Yadav has stated some things which are not suited to their profession, as he himself is a High Court judge. So that's why this is in the news. So see, whenever you impeached someone, even though you started impeaching president also, it is very stringent process. It has very much loopholes. It is not easy to impeach someone who is seated on the higher position. So whenever you impeach process whenever you start process of impeaching Supreme Court or High Court judges, at least 55 MPs from Rajya Sabha and 100 MPs from Lok Sabha are required. Like opinion of in favor of impeachment process should be required. Then special majority of both the houses, that is the most stringent issue, that special majority of both the houses. What is special majority? Do tell me in the comment section what is special majority. So the special majority is the one thing, the major loophole. Then even though the special majority happens, then the president give assent or do not give assent to the bill. That's the big issue. That's the next thing. So impeaching one from higher position is not easy task, because see, there are loopholes, but at the same time it is useful also, as it is not easy to, if we make the process very easy, like in simple majority we should impeach judges or we should impeach president, then opposition party or the party who is in the power will adjust according to their will, and the higher position will not be higher and it will be more flexible. And according to our democracy, as we have largest democracy in the world, at the same time we have large population in the world, it is very costly to have some time to time or frequent elections. So the process of be impeach someone is stringent. It has loopholes, but it has some right issues also. Like for right reasons, it is stringent. So do have look on the article. And as we all know, uh, we are the country, we have strong judiciary with the Blackstone logo of there should be 10 people who has there 10 people should can be escaped who have committed crime, instead of suffering one innocent. So that is also the case for impeaching someone or having fast track trials, which are recently in news, that fast track judges or fast track trials should happen or should take place. But the only thing is, one innocent should not suffer on the cost of other thing. So the article was about it. So see, these kind of questions can be asked in prelims, like under which article it comes. Then in deep they will ask under which article Supreme Court judges impeached, or under which article High Court judges are impeached. So these kind of things just make confusion ho sakta hai, but practice by revising things, you will become clear about the articles. It's not a big issue. And see, now it's the time to make smooth transition towards prelims. There is nothing like I'm preparing separate for prelims and I'm preparing separate for mains. The things doesn't work like that. It's not like from today onwards I will only do MCQs and not. It's not like that. See, I first of all I would like to clarify here that mains is all about having descriptive and prelims is all about having MCQs. So there is no different syllabus for two exams. Syllabus is the same. Just in mains they are asking in deep and descriptive manner, and here we have same GS subjects but in MCQ manner. So start solving MCQ at least 25 per day, so that when you will start full-fledged prelims preparation of 100 or solving 100 questions as mock you will give, it will not feel like pressure and you will be used to it. So start solving at least 20 MCQs each day. At the same time, solve at least 5 mains question. Don't go for any, my personal suggestion is don't go for any new class mains. Right now it's not favorable. Like please use commission's newspaper at right now, at least have focus on PYQs, because see, not anyone, no one can match the level of UPSC they have asked the question. So instead of solving too much difficult question and having that trauma in your mind, go and just find commission's newspaper and solve the commission's newspaper only. It will give you fair idea about what to read, how to read, and it will be the lighthouse of your preparation. So, and don't try to copy topper's strategy. They are not, before being topper, they were normal aspirants. So make your own strategy. Even if someone is saying I used to solve 500 MCQs per day, don't go behind that blind issue or blind hypocrisy of solving 500 MCQs. It is not possible. Even though they can solve, you only solve 20 per day. And see the progress is, you should feel like your own strategy is working instead of copying someone else. Because when you try to copy someone else, it creates unnecessary pressure on you. So instead of doing that, just have smooth transition towards prelim by starting solving 20 MCQs per day, and don't ignore newspaper. सी बहुत सारे एस्पायरेंट्स ऐसे हैं जो पीटी पढ़ते हैं. It's not bad to read PT. They provide you very crisp material. It's not about it. But at the same time, what happens when there are like about 90% of people are there who reads PT and they totally ignore newspaper. What happen is, we in PT they have only crisp idea and only key points about the news. PT is all about that. They don't explain whole news in basic structure or in detail, because they assume that we already know it. But what happen is, जैसे जैसे अप्रैल मार्च आता है, we go to the market, we buy PTs, and when we buy PTs, we are like this. I know this news, but I don't know the background of this news. Then what we do is we Google news. See, it's okay to Google one or two news or at least 4 5 news from whole PT, but it's not advisable to go and have each and every issue. You are not aware of that and you are doing each and every search of that issue and you are googling it or you are finding it on YouTube. Then it will be very heavy to prepare current affairs, and 2 months are not enough to have whole coverage of newspapers. So start from now only, so that it will not create huge pressure on you. So yeah, that was about today's newspaper. And thank you, and stay tuned for tomorrow's analysis, and like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.